Welcome to Cheesing It Up. We're back after a long hiatus, and we have a French cheese today called Brillat Savarin. I probably butchered my French, but stay tuned anyway. It's been a busy several months for us. We've been working on a lot of home renovation projects, enjoying the summertime, but we're really glad to be back sampling cheeses for you and taking on some cheese adventures. As you can tell, we have relocated and redesigned the Criz Bar. A little bit of a different location here for us, but so far we really like the setup. I do miss the shelves on both sides of us. However, I really like the fireplace, and it goes all the way up to the ceiling as well. So hopefully you like it. Drop some comments below. Let us know what you think of the new setup. But this is the new home of Cheesing It Up. So this cheese is considered to be a soft ripened cheese made with cow's milk. It's also a triple cream cheese. So very similar to a brie, except it's made in a different region of France. So legally, it cannot be called a brie, even though it may share some similar properties to bries. Curious to see how close this tastes to brie. This is actually the first time I'm having this type of variety of cheese. So I'm curious if there are some nuanced differences between this and the brie cheeses. This cheese, by the way, does carry its own rich history. Dates back to the late 1800s. Later on renamed after a very famous politician, lawyer, and also food connoisseur in France. His name is Brillat Savarin, which, as you can tell, based on the name of the cheese, carries the exact last name of this famous historical Frenchman. This cheese is manufactured by Dellen, which is a family-owned and operated farm in the Burgundy region in France. They've been in business for about 55 years, so definitely quite a bit of cheese. This is actually probably the most famous and the staple of their cheese lineup. So let's go ahead, let's give this a try. All right, just finished unwrapping, and as you can tell, this is extremely soft. I mean, it almost feels like the texture of a goat cheese in a lot of respects. You can see I got it all over my hands here. So definitely very messy cheese, so just make sure you have some napkins around. I don't have time to run for some napkins, so we're just gonna dive right into this cheese. All right, I'm gonna cut this very similar to a brie cheese and just cut almost little wheels out here. Oh man, that's actually a pretty big piece. Very different than a brie cheese, actually. I'm pretty surprised. I was expecting it to be a really similar. Really creamy. Let's pick up a little bit of the cream cheese taste on the very front end of the cheese, and then you get a little bit more of a full-bodied flavor profile with it. Just a little bit of like a soury lemon taste on the back end of this cheese. Very different than what I was expecting. My hypothesis, you can completely throw it out the window. It doesn't really taste anything like brie. So I think it'd be a crime to actually classify this as a brie cheese. I definitely say it's more similar in the camp of your cream cheese, probably more flavorful version of a cream cheese, because a little bit of the lemon type zest property on the back end. It's probably really good as an alternative on a bagel. Trying to decide how I really feel about this cheese. Hands down, I would very likely put a brie above this cheese. Most bries, because of some of the more complex flavors and earthy undertones, I'd probably prefer to go in that direction. But this is a really unique flavor profile as well. In addition to having a brand new set at Cheesing It Up, we're also introducing a brand new rating system. As you recall, on traditional episodes, we tell you whether or not if we'd recommend the cheese. Most cheeses that we've presented to you, we do have some level of recommendation for them. But I want to credit one of our subscribers, Mike, all the way from South River, New Jersey, who recently reached out to us and said, hey, love your episodes, but I'd love to get an indication how much more you like one cheese versus another. And so we're going to be introducing a brand new rating system. In the spirit of just coming off of the Olympics, we're going to use a very simple system of bronze, silver, and gold to rate all the cheeses that we're going to be sampling moving forward. So a bronze rating would be considered to be a good cheese, a cheese that we'd buy it again. Overall, we liked a lot of the flavor profiles associated with it. More than likely, that would be a cheese that would fall somewhere between a 3.5 to 4-star rating. The next category would be silver. Silver cheese would be one that we thoroughly enjoyed. We really felt the flavor profiles were extremely strong. Be a cheese, no questions asked. We'd buy again. We'd be proud to put it on a plate for one of our guests in the future. Theoretically, it would be anywhere from a 4 to 4.5 type rating. The top rating would be a gold. These are cheeses that are absolutely outstanding, cheeses that we love. Probably some of our favorite cheeses that we've had that would also earn between a 4.5 to 5-star type rating. Okay, so that's the scale moving forward. And this cheese today is the very, very first one that we are going to assign a rating to. Overall, I did enjoy this cheese today. Did have a lot of flavor profiles similar to a cream cheese, like a Philadelphia cream cheese we have here in the United States. However, it is $13 for the 7 to 8 ounce wheel, and I was certainly looking for some additional flavor profiles. Likely it did deliver a little bit on the front end in addition to the cream cheese type taste. I'd pick up almost a little bit of the goat cheese property in there as well. And then the back end, that's where we start picking up a little bit of bitterness and a little bit of that lemon zest type property. Didn't really get a lot of earthy tones, which you traditionally get with the triple cream brie type cheeses. Very, very different flavor profile on this one. I would say overall we would recommend the cheese. And so with that in mind, I'm ready to assign our very, very first rating from the scale of bronze, silver, and gold. So you would give this one overall a bronze rating today. Overall a good cheese. I'd buy this again. Very likely this would be enjoyable spreading on a bagel or a baguette potentially. Definitely would add a little bit extra something to the flavor profile versus a traditional cream cheese. So again, recommendation from us, bronze medal. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We are glad to be back and we'll see you again real soon. Until next time, keep cheesing it up. Oh man, I could not flip this one.